This is Jerod Lakefield, a novel by Don Fensler, Part 30, Phase 2, Part 1. A few months later. The ball hit at Cole Bryant's feet. He looked at it. He wanted to do something. He knew he had to do something. He was supposed to pick up the ball. You saw in his eyes that he knew he was supposed to pick up the ball. But he could not move. He was frozen, petrified. He wanted to move, but he could not. He wanted to be Cole Bryant, but there was no Cole Bryant anymore at this moment. This all took place in a split second. The ball was gone, and then the ball was bouncing off the backboard in an odd but determined way, and then it was going through the basket. Cole turned and ran back towards the other basket. He didn't want to think about what had just happened. Flush it, flush it, flush it. But there was no flushing Jerod Lakefield. Cole Bryant, the second leading scorer of all time in the NBA, went into a 10-game slump that had the whole league scratching in wonder. I never really understood how Jerod got a tryout with the Clappers, the worst franchise in the history of sports. He obviously was not drafted. I'm sure some of the people in the NBA had heard of Jerod. Maybe even some scouts had come to see him play. But you had to see Jerod Lakefield day in and day out to appreciate his gift. If you came on the wrong day, you might see him on one of those games when he disappeared, where he scored 6 points because that was all we needed from him. The Duke game, the David versus Goliath game that we almost won, put us, and especially Jerod Lakefield, on the map, I know. But that was just for like 6 or 7 fucking hours. There is no way St. Cloud State and Jerod Lakefield could have been on any fucking major radar among NBA scouts. Even with Jerod Lakefield, we were as obscure as a fucking minnow in the Pacific fucking Ocean. This is what happened. I heard about it from someone later. Jerod, he showed up at the Clapper workout. It was September. He asked the Clapper head coach, Larry Buckheit, if he would give him a look. I'm sure that Coach Buckheit was taken back by Jerod's aura, just like the rest we all were, even if it was the first time you met him. But I'm sure the overwhelming feeling was, what fucking lunatic asylum did this guy escape from? And where's my pepper spray? In short, Coach Buckheit couldn't be so insane as to let some guy just walk up and join the practice. Even the lowly, crusty scum of the universe, Clappers, couldn't do that. So Jerod said okay and went over to the out-of-bounds line. He waited until the Coach Buckheit called for a break. And when Coach went to the can, and then when Coach went to the can, to the toilet, he walked up to one of the Clapper players and talked to him in his calm, hypnotic Jerod Lakefield way, and eventually the topic got around to possibly Jerod Lakefield, a Clapper fan and admirer, and a nobody from the nobody state of Minnesota, into playing one-on-one against him. The NBA player was Willie Trombley. Not a top star, but anyone in the NBA has got to be good. Too good to take this skinny, white, angel-haired guy from Minnesota seriously. A kid off the street talks an NBA veteran into a game of one-on-one. I told you about Jerod's aura. The NBA player Willie Trombley, who is no longer an NBA player, by the way, thought it amusing that this young white kid would not only have the nerve to walk up and talk to him, but fucking get this, have the urge to ask him to play him one-on-one at the Clappers practice. Wait until I fucking Twitter this, Trombley was thinking probably. It was stupid. Willie Trombley had seen these kids on the sidelines of the court before. They were a dime a dozen, a penny a pound, and a toenail a ton. They had this fucking look about them. They all think they could take him. This was September. The security was pretty lax at the best of times, but in September, if your Aunt Agnes, it was your Aunt Agnes covering Fort Knox. Who cared? Thought Willie. I hate this fucking look in this blonde kid's eyes, especially this kid. Pardon my fucking French, but I want to show them what an NBA player was. Trombley was thinking. We were the best of the NCAA. We NBA players, NCAA Division Uno, 1, not NAIA, and so much more. I, Willie Trombley, I am NBA, even though I'm a bench warmer. My muscles bulge and my penis stretches to the fucking Gateway Arch in St. Louis. You have no right to be in the same room with me. Even breathe the same fucking air with me, god damn it, whatever your fucking name is, you pipsqueak blonde guy. But do not cross a boundary, you lowly, worthless wretch of fuckhead cockroach. That's the way he was looking at Jerod Lakefield, I'm sure. And then Willie said, and I, Willie Trombley, say that with all due respect. In short, Shorty, take my autograph and then leave. Again, this is what was related to me by someone else later. With most of these kind, it's just a look, thought Willie Trombley. But this kid, this guy that introduced himself as Gerald or Jello or something, actually wanted on the court to compete as an equal with me, Willie Trombley, an NBA semi-benchwarmer superstar. Okay, let him on the court. This is break time. The other coaches are getting water, calling wives and girlfriends, or whatever, possibly purchasing islands in the South Pacific. I don't want to do that. We're on break. I want to teach this lowly scum a lesson. And this pasty, white-faced waif will be my first victim. Bring it on, Jello, thought Willie Trombley. The end of part 30.